Good afternoon. Welcome to a Grimsby from Block 5 with me, your host SJ. I hope this podcast finds you all very well. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see I'm joined today by a very special guest. He is a self-proclaimed frequent tweeter. James, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing, mate?
Thank you very much. I'm all good, thank you. And yeah, I got a message from SJ saying it's a long shot, but does he want me on the pod? And I said, of course, of
Yeah.
course. And yeah, I appreciate you reaching out. And yeah, I'm excited to talk about the Arsenal as I always am, especially to a season ticket holder because I am not. I guess just the position I'm in, I'm not able to get to every single game.
Sure.
So being able to speak to someone who does, it's always interesting to hear like the talk about how the atmosphere has changed and that side of
Mm.
things because certain things you see in the stadium that you don't see on TV necessarily. So I guess when we talk about Erdegaard, we might get into that some more.
Mm.
We'll get into it.
Yeah, sure. No, I appreciate it. Honestly, like I said before, I appreciate you taking the time to even join me on this podcast today. So yeah, we're here to talk about the West Ham game yesterday, 1-2-0 at the Emirates, the Fortress. But like you said, we're going to start with the news that's been broken by Arsenal. Martin Odegaard suffered an MCL injury yesterday. What's your thoughts on the injury and Martin Odegaard's season as a whole? It seems to be very injury stop-start so far.
Yeah, that's the word I was going to use. It has been an incredibly stop-start. Also, I know we've often talked and rude about the injury troubles that we've had recently. I do think it was a bit of a freak injury.
It
Again,
was. It
he's
was.
so his first injury this season was his shoulder, then he went and landed on it again, and now this third. So he's actually the first player to ever in Premier League history get taken off before halftime in 3 games in a
Yeah,
row.
man.
And yeah, he stuck out his knee to try and block the player from getting past, knee on knee contact. If it's happened to you, it's happened to me before. It really hurts.
No, it's painful. Yeah, it's painful, man.
If you're lucky, you get away with just a dead leg or a bruise on the knee. We've found out just now that he wasn't lucky. He's done his MCL, and to what extent he will be out for is unclear at this point. It could be from anywhere between 1 to 10 weeks.
Yeah.
So hard to make any big conclusions, but yeah, it's a shame that we haven't seen much of our captain, especially after that performance midweek.
That was what I was going to touch on. He's come back. I mean, we can all be honest. Last season wasn't his best season. Had a bit of a down season, but this season he seems to just gradually got better and better. And the injuries just stop
Yep.
start. I think he played well when he came against Newcastle, Olympiacos midweek. He played very well. He seemed to change his game slightly a bit more all over the pitch, a bit more instead of being a bit right side orientated. And yeah, the innocuous nature of the tackle itself was just. It's a shame. It's a shame for him.
What it is testament to is the approach we took in summer to shore up all these positions. And a lot of people would have said attacking midfielder was quite low down on our priority list. But now this situation has arisen, and we're all saying, thank goodness we've got Eze
Yep.
because Nwaneri is an excellent player, but we can't just have Nwaneri for Champions League and Premier League. So nowadays, with the way football is, there's so many injuries in the sport, you need to have several guys in each position. And we
Sure.
are blessed to have that. And so far this season, despite Havertz's injuries, despite Hincapié, despite Erdegaard, Saka, we've managed to rise because of the business
Right.
we did in some. So credit to Berta and everyone who was involved in that.
Sorry, I wasn't sure if that was my internet or your internet. I think we're back now. I can hear you, but I just jittered a bit. But yeah, I agree. We've set ourselves up well this season to take on injuries as opposed to in previous seasons where one injury, probably like a Saliba or Odegaard or a Saka, and we're almost just writing the season off there and then. So yeah, I mean, he'll be a big miss. Don't get me wrong, he's our captain. He sets the tone in our press. He's a leader, very vocal on the pitch. But I think we're well equipped, like you said, to carry on this season, and it won't affect us too much.
I believe, am I right in saying there's two international breaks coming up, not just one. I think there's a
Yeah,
second one.
correct. There's one in
So
November, so it gives us
there's
extra.
obviously there's an international break now for one.
Yeah, there's one in October and then one in November. So it gives us that time just to gives him more time to get back, and there's less games that he's going to miss in that sense.
Yeah. And he'll be back for the busy Christmas period, which will be much needed, I would
Oh,
say.
100%, 100%. So let's get into what we're here to, what the West Ham game. Um, I saw your predicted team lineup. It was similar to mine, which I said in the preview pod. You have Martin Zubimendi in the middle of yours. So what was your thoughts when you saw the team lineup when it came out, just pre-game?
Well, I suppose one of the reasons why I hadn't predicted the team lineup that Arteta put out was just because I didn't think in my wildest dreams we would play in that
Yeah,
way.
agree.
And
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely delighted to see Arteta take those risks. I do think a lot of people are saying it was directly due to the Man City game. I think at first he was hesitant to allow Eza to play in those midfield three slots because it is very different to the role he was playing at Palace. He was playing within the front three. So the easiest thing to do was stick him left wing in the front three, and
mhm,
to pull him back into midfield requires a lot more. If he's now leading the press for us, so he needs a lot more tactical flexibility and understanding where he is. It's been several weeks now. He seems to understand his role off the ball, and yeah, to be able to play with Erdegaard, Zubimendi, and Rice, Erdegaard, Eze, and Rice in midfield with Zubimendi on the bench is incredible.
mhm.
And we will go on to speak more, but Zubimendi, I thought, had an incredible game after he
Yeah,
came on for Erdegaard. And from those 25 minutes or so that I think Erdegaard was on the pitch, I was impressed. I thought
I
it looked
agree.
good. I thought
Mhm.
we showed several different ways that we could threaten West Ham. And unlike often, where it's very obvious that we all want to go through Erdegaard and Saka, they did not know what was coming at them. And I think Trossard had an underrated game as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, what did you think of the Erdegaard's cameo while that midfield was on the pitch, and how Zubimendi changed things?
So like I said, where Odegaard changed his game recently, where he's been f- given more freedom to roam the pitch. I thought he was very direct in his play. I think he played that ball down the line for Saka. He played Jokeris through early doors. So he was well involved. In terms of Mendy, when I saw the lineup and when in our group chat, people said, "Oh, the handbrake's come off." I thought it was a bit disrespectful to Mendy because I understand he's defensive. He's our defensive midfielder, but he's very part of our attacking setup. I
Yeah,
mean, even the goals in this game, he's played a role in both of them. He played the ball through to Eza for a shot to get blocked, and he's played a ball over the top for Timber to win the penalty. So I think it's a bit disingenuous to think that Zubimendi is just defensive. With his range of passing, he's very much so attacking. And in games like this, he's able to help us unlock defenses more. Where
yeah,
teams sit back, he's not going to be sitting back on the halfway line in between Saliba and Gabriel. He'll be on the edge of the box and using his array of passing to help us unlock defenses, which I think he did when he
on
came on.
on on that point is very interesting because people have spoken a lot about these mid blocks, these West Hams,
Mm,
Fulhams, and Villas, the games that have caused us so many problems in recent years. But I actually, and people are saying Eze is going to be the reason why
yeah.
we're not going to be affected by them as much. I would personally argue Zubimendi
Mm,
is going to be the main reason because his
agree.
quick release in the pass, where
Exactly.
the ball is being circulated and he knows the right pass to make and the right time to make that pass. In the past, we've had the ball with Partey and Rice, and we've kind of just
Yeah.
circulated, and then just lobbed one over the top. And it's just basically them not being a natural Spanish-born midfielder and having that perfect feel for the game, knowing exactly when the pass is due. So yeah, I think we're blessed to have Zubimendi, honestly, and
Yeah.
55 million is an insane steal in
It's a
this
steal. It's a
market.
steal. And don't get me wrong, Declan Rice, he can play the six. He's got a good range of passes as well. I mean, you saw it midweek at Olympiacos, he played that sweeping ball into Odegaard in midfield. And even yesterday, I mean, the goal was offside, but he kicked that ball over top for Saka and he was put the ball away. And luckily, like I said, it was offside. But he can write a good array of passing. But like I think, like you said, Zubimendi's just very quick in the brain. He's like
Yeah.
2-3 pass ahead of everyone. So he does it in one touch as well. So yeah. Um, so just get into the game. What was your thought? I mean, just my thoughts overall. I thought it was a glorified training session to be honest yesterday. Just in my opinion, watching the game. Just overall, what was your thought on the whole game? Your game as a whole?
Yeah, I think Arteta will be delighted with the way the game went. We dominated essentially from minute 1 to minute 90. There was one or two half chances they had from slight sloppiness from us, but I think that's being quite generous to them. Uh, what really resonates with me is Arteta once spoke about wanting to dominate, not just control games, but dominate everything. He wanted to be kings of everything on the pitch, and that is what it's starting to feel like. That previously we had set pieces, previously we had open play, previously we had a strong defense. And now all of a sudden we've gone, all right, bring all these pieces together. And now we're 7 games in with plus 11 goal difference. We've conceded 3 goals all season, one from open play. And you just think like we've had an incredible start to the season
Yeah,
and have played some really, really difficult fixtures. So I'd like to see us go on a run for this next period. And the West Ham game will be reassuring for all the players to know that, okay, when we play an opposition that we're superior to, that superiority shows, but also kind of that not every game, what we suffered last season so badly, the first 10 weeks or so, we were a slog. Even the games we were winning 1-0 or 2-1, and we were exhausted by the end of those
yeah.
games. This season, Saka was strolling about to the point where it was actually annoying me a little bit, especially because I had him on my fantasy team. So,
Uh,
so I was like, mate, get back, get up to the attack. But yeah, we managed to make all 5 changes, I think.
yeah,
The players none of them were too strained throughout the game. And yeah, it just means later down the line, when it comes to match week 25, 30, you're not mentally and physically just bullied into the ground. You've been coasting throughout the season, and crunch time, you're ready to kind of turn the screw. So perfect game for me.
yeah,
And so many positives. To pick the worst player on the pitch, I'd have to say Gyökeres, but I thought he did a lot right still.
yeah.
So yeah.
We'll get to Jokeres later. But yeah, I agree. I agree with what you're saying about in terms of the control. I think we were in second gear, if I'm honest. I think if West Ham dared score 2 goals, we'd score another 2 goals as well. Um, like you said, I mean, they had 4 chances the whole game, and the first one came in the first minute from full crook from a corner. I think Paqueta in the first 5 minutes. After that, I don't think they had any chances really. It was just pure dominance. I think the next chance came in the 90th minute from a corner when the game was pretty much over. So it's pure dominance in
It's
that
just to
sense.
jump on that quickly. It's something
Yeah,
we've spoken about before, where the very best teams historically beat you in the tunnel. You can get in the tunnel and you think, shit, we got no chance. Arsenal, we're not there yet because it's very early in the season, but I think we could very quickly get to that stage when teams go, oh, for fuck's sake,
yeah,
it's going to be a long day. Because yeah, it reached a stage in the game after we'd scored. The West Ham are running around looking at each other like, what is going on?
yeah,
They're like, we actually can't do anything. They'd get the ball into our half and we'd win it again. And not just are we technically superior, every duel we were winning as well. So they were
yeah,
getting nothing out of us.
yeah,
So yeah, just on that point, second gear, but also second gear and still like with our knee on their neck, it was
yeah.
brutal at times.
Well, I think because I think where we're set up, our domination, I think we're gonna have control all the time. But it's a fine line between control and creation.
Yeah,
So we can control, but we need to create more. And I think that's where teams get really disheartened when we actually create stuff and control them. Because they're in a low block, they're set up for what we're going to come do. So they're happy to go left and right. You can control the play, well done, great.
yeah.
But if you're actually getting them behind and creating them, that's when the head goes down. They get the heavy breathing because we're actually
Because
putting under pressure.
they're already losing by this point,
Exactly,
and it's
exactly,
wave after wave of attack with
exactly.
no
Agree.
respite. They clear the
Exactly.
ball and hope that it sticks with
Yeah.
Fulkrug. And Saliba and Gabriel looking at each other like, who is this guy? Every time winning the duel. So yeah, it it gets to that stage where the game is psychologically won, and then from there it was just a foregone conclusion,
Yeah.
and the game panned out exactly as we knew it was going to pan out,
Yeah.
basically.
And in terms of like you mentioned Saka, we could talk about Saka. Obviously, Saka he got his 100th goal involvement in his 200th Premier League game, which is sensational to us. An involvement every other game at such a young age. And given he started at left back, left wing back, I mean, we could get rid of those games. He's probably got a much better record, you know. How do you think he played yesterday? Because personally, I think it was one of his better games. And I think because we've got a better team now, there's less reliance on him to be a hero.
Yeah.
Um, how do you see his game yesterday?
I think it's a game that we've become accustomed to seeing with Saka. I'd say he gave an 8 out of 10, basically.
It's
It was
clockwork, yeah.
nothing,
It's very much clockwork for him, yeah. Agree.
exactly, nothing outstanding, nothing that we don't come to expect from him. But you just know that he will create chances. And to be really honest with you, there are times when he was one on one with his fullback, and I think he's still not got his full burst back.
Yeah,
He used to, anytime it was one on one, he's gone. Nowadays, he's using his footballing brain and problem solving in those situations. But he is, for me, one of the best one on one problem solvers
yeah,
in the world. He will always find a way, even if he doesn't beat the player physically, to get his body between the ball, to roll the man.
yeah,
And yeah, he not just did he score the penalty, he scored a marginally offside goal. He created several chances throughout the game. Um, yeah, it just you can see that he's not at his best yet, but he's purring, is what I'd
yeah.
say. He needs and it's insane to me that people were saying no, he should have given Gyökeres the penalty. He needs he needs the goals as much as anyone.
Agreed, agreed. So yeah, so we're gonna get to that now. He scored a goal in the game. It was a penalty. Um, you just tell me what you think. So I agree. I think Saka, he's our penalty taker. In the past, he's had his troubles with penalties, and he's been flawless since, ever since. So uh, I was interested. I thinking when he was Jokeris, was he on the pitch when Jokeris had his penalty? But he wasn't. He came off against Leeds, didn't he, when Jokeris scored his penalty earlier in the
Oh, had
season.
he?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
that's
I
interesting.
thought, maybe it was a debate like a one pin each, but no, he was off the pitch, so clearly he must be our number one penalty taker. And
And rightly so. He's our best player.
yeah,
Like you let your best player take penalties, and Gyökeres, as much as like I understand the need for a goal,
yeah,
he's also, I don't personally believe a penalty would have changed that much. A penalty against West Ham in the 85th minute all of a sudden isn't going to make Gyökeres confident. He needs open play goals, and those goals will come. But yeah, Saka handing out a penalty for no reason, I don't think would have changed much.
yeah. I don't know, I'm not sure because you look at the best strikers, the Harry Kanes, the Salahs. They may get 20 goals in the league, but a quarter of those may be penalties. It just at the right
Yeah, but
time. I think at the right time, a goal might give you that confidence going into another game. Because they're all human. They come and read the online chatter. Haven't scored in X amount of games. There's been quite. What is it? 6 games now he's scored in.
but
Just
then
like maybe
but then as I say in the same vein, if Saka didn't take the penalty, Saka would have one goal in 4 or 5 games this season, and then people start bringing the same things up about Saka. So
true, true. But I just think there's less reliance on Saka to score goals. And that's not his main. He wasn't bought in the summer as a big money purchase to provide goals. Whereas Jokeres, he's got that pressure, that price tag on him to come and deliver. And maybe one
true.
goal much, just give him a bit of confidence going to the next game. I mean, yeah, you never know. He can step up. He's got a great record. He could step up and miss and be even further in the mud. But I think, like you said, just going on to Jokeres, I think he's doing the right things. I think he's getting he's making the right runs, and I think he's getting very unlucky in terms of runs in the box.
Yeah.
Like in the first half where Saka's got down the touchline and he's cut it back, and he's just behind Jokeres. That happened quite a few times when, especially when Noni Madueke was playing, the ball's a bit overhit or just behind him. So he's doing the right things. He's strong, he's physical, he's getting himself about the pitch. He's actually making defenders double up on him at times, because he's just that big and robust. It started from the first game, the tie to Lit. He got welcomed to the Premier League by Gyökeres. Lit just got put into Rose Edge.
And as you say about the doubling up, that is so important for the rest of the players on the pitch, because we've spoken previously about Saka being doubled up on. They can't
Yeah,
double up on Saka and Gyökeres,
yeah,
and if they do, then Ez is going to be in wealth of space. So yeah, that. And Arteta did mention it actually post game. He said, "I'm so happy with the work
yeah,
Gyökeres is putting in." Uh, and you know the world of football. People read numbers and say, "Oh, X amount of goals and assists," but at the end of the day, if he's contributing to us winning, then I'm
exactly.
more than happy with it. It will be interesting when Havertz is fit again. I personally think Havertz will probably come back into the team,
Very good.
but once that happens, we'll again kind of see what Havertz brings, but also what Havertz lacks that Gyökeres has, which is that insane gravity when he's making those kind of blind tunnel vision runs when he's just
Yeah,
darting at a player and the player goes, I need to make a movement. And that opens up space for others. Whereas I think when Havertz makes those similar runs, they're a little bit more tentative and
yeah.
kind of less threatening in the most respectful way possible.
Right. Well, I think because that's just difference. Gyökeres is an out-and-out striker. He's been doing it since he was young. It's
Yeah.
his thing. Havertz has been like a 10. he plays all across the front line, you know. But Gyökeres is this is how he makes a living. And it's interesting. I'm not sure. I wasn't too sure if Havertz would actually come back and take the place of Gyökeres, but I think they're both off something different, like you said. So it could be just game state, horses for courses, which
Yeah.
player might suit us for that game on that particular week. Um, and I wanted to go to Trossard. I saw you put out an interesting tweet about his performance maybe going under the radar. Um, Personally, I thought he had a very quiet first half and he came more to prominence in the second half. He got more involved, you know. How did you see the performance?
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones that with the setup of the team at the moment, he's never going to get all the limelight because you've got Saka, Gyökeres,
Yeah,
Eza, Erdegaard in that team. But he does play an important role in, and we saw it time and time again, actually. The ball comes out to Trossard. Trossard pulls deep and Rice makes that overlapping run. And the execution on those passes from Trossard, it's not a particularly easy pass to make, but he made it, I think, on numerous occasions, more than
yeah,
once. And yeah, as I say, I won't lie and say I wasn't paying detailed attention to him when I was watching the game, but I feel that his role in that team is understated. And while Martinelli would bring other things, you'd
yeah.
lack Trossard's ability to step into the midfield and create an overload when you have Trossard as a Rice and Erdegaard all in that midfield space, who are all creative enough to find the other players inside and outside of the block. So yeah, not to say that Trossard is irreplaceable, of course. I watched
Yeah.
Semenyo and I think
Oh,
if this guy was playing for us, we would be by far and away the best team in the world. But I do think that yeah, it's easy to slander him and say why is he in the team? He scored the second most since he was transferred to us. He got the second most goals and assists in our squad behind
okay.
Saka, which kind of makes sense, but it's also a very interesting stat considering he hasn't started for many of those games. Um, and yeah, I just think not the extension, the pay rise was a strange one,
Yeah.
but he is a useful squad player to have. And maybe we'll move on next summer. But right now, I think he does have a lot of value in this squad in his specific role.
Yeah, I mean, I think the extension might have come because Havertz got his injury, maybe, because I think there was
But it's
echoes of
not an
Tross.
extension. It was
Oh,
just a
yeah,
pay
yes,
rise.
yeah, it's just a pay rise. Sorry, pay rise. Sorry, not extension, a pay rise. I think, yeah, maybe because Havertz is on his way, maybe just to keep him a bit happy in the said club, because I'm sure there was murmurs of Trossard possibly leaving the club. Um, just going to a former West Ham player, which we got on a cheap, half price apparently. Declan Rice. He's popped up yesterday of a goal. He's put his West Ham hoodoo, especially at home. Away from home, he's soon score do well, but at home, he's finally got the better of the West Ham. How do you think he played yesterday?
Yeah, he's just. Think he was my man of the match. I can't remember
Okay,
in hindsight who I said was man of the match. Um, him, Zubamendi, and Timber were probably my top three players. But just him especially, just the levels he brings week in, week out. I do actually think he had a slightly slow start to the season.
no,
He
agree,
for
agree.
some reason he always seems to start the season a little bit slowly. Um, but yeah, he's really just come into that Rolls Royce position again where nobody can get past him and he seems to be everywhere on the pitch. And what is becoming noticeable is the information that Arteta is providing him. He seems to be picking up because those line breakers are becoming more and more frequent. I
Yeah,
think it does help that Eza is playing a freer role. I didn't with the 4-3-3 and you've got Erdegaard on the right centre mid, it's a lot harder to find people between the lines. So I think we've solved that a little bit, but the execution still has to be there to make those passes. And he's doing it. He's making the right decisions. And his defensive work is as good as it has always been. And he's popping up with important goals as always. So yeah, one of my favourite Arsenal players,
yeah.
unsurprisingly. And you are right. We joke, but in this market, people spend, I don't know, 80 million on Anthony.
Oh yeah.
Players don't come cheap nowadays. Declan Rice, 100 million, no doubt will go down as an excellent signing, as crazy as that sounds.
I agree. No, I agree. He's touch map. Obviously, he played two positions yesterday, but he touch map playing everywhere, like you said, up and down the pitch. Um, Newcastle last week, he's there making that last ditch tackle with Murphy, wherever, you know, he's just everywhere. The guy's got an engine for days. I just hope he doesn't get run ragged by Thomas Tuchel, but he usually does. I mean, that's just the quality of him.
I think he might be pulling out of international break.
Oh, of course, he came off injured. Yes, sorry, I forgot. Yeah, that was not injured. He actually came off injured, didn't he? I'm
Yeah.
not sure what been reported on that just yet.
So I just hope he's
Um,
all right, I guess.
I agree, yeah, 100%. I mean, if he just doesn't go on a precautionary measure, that'd be fine. There's one more player I want to talk about. Calafiore. I think he's yeah. I mean, we missed him last season. He missed 20 plus games for us. He seems to have just. I mean, he's kept Martin Skelly, who was probably one of our breakout players last year. He's kept him at the team. Uh, Lewis Skelly, England, scored his debut, and Calafiori's come back, and he's just a maverick. He just plays so differently. He just pops up here, pops up there. He hit the post yesterday, weaker foot. What's your opinion on Calafiori yesterday?
Yeah, I was speaking on Calafiori. Yeah, I made a tweet about this as well, how he's just kind of perfect for what we need. I
Mm.
love Lewis Skelly, and also Lewis Skelly played excellently against Olympiacos
Oh, yeah, it did.
and would have very rightly been starting a left back. But Calafiori has been so good and can operate in so many different zones, which is exactly what we need because that level of unpredictability in the sport is becoming quite predictable in that teams are going to build up with a 3 and a 2. But if you have a player at left back who is able to go into that 2, go into the left wing position, go into the right centre mid position,
Yeah,
then you're able to progress the ball much quicker and through that able to threaten the defensive line quicker.
yeah,
So yeah, it's a funny one because Lewis Skelly has done nothing wrong. Calafiori has just done everything right, and both of our fullbacks this season have been outstanding. I'd argue two of our best players, and yeah, both very different, similar but very different roles actually. Where Timber is like this lockdown right back where nothing will get past him, but also he's very good in tight space. He's very able to play 360, and is improving in the final third, inside more so than outside. I think he struggles on the outside, but
yeah,
when he comes inside, like that penalty he won yesterday, he's causing threat.
yeah.
And Calafiori, who just the world is his oyster and just does whatever he wants, but it doesn't matter because we have Rice, Saliba, and Gabriel around him. So if he loses the ball, we will get it back. Um, and yeah, I think something important about both of our fullbacks is that they are able to play 360. Both of them are very two-footed,
Yeah.
which means they can come in inside, outside, and they can access all areas of the pitch. For all of Lewis Skelly's strengths, the one thing I think he lacks is that he has a bit of an angle bias towards his left foot. And I'm sure he'll be working on this. He's 18 years old.
Yeah.
But when he improves to be able to play in all directions, I think he'll be put in midfield and we've got a world-class midfielder there.
No, I agree. I mean, the options are ridiculous at fullback position, especially this season. So
And don't forget Hincapie.
I mean, I kind of if he's injured, but hopefully he comes back. He looks a decent player. So he'll be integrated hopefully at some point over that busy Christmas period. Uh, so we're finished top now. We're top of the league. Liverpool lost. The wheels seem to be falling off Anfield. Their fan base is returning on a slot slowly. Uh, so what's your thoughts on being first or second is in terms of being the hunted or the hunter? Do you think we're well equipped now to kick on now and be as in like in previous seasons where we might have dropped away? Do you think we're now well equipped better with our squad and just the experience to kick on and hopefully win the league?
Yeah, I think mentally we have that experience. We kind of we I just get the sense that this team no longer really cares about what other teams are doing.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Before it's sort and also kind of the fan base too is there's always been this looking over our shoulders like, oh, are we supposed to be here? Now this team knows that they're the best team in the league, pound for pound. And I think because of that, there's going to be less of this shit City are on our tail because it's like, no, we are the best team in the league. Previously, it was always if City turn it on, they'll be the best team in the league.
yeah,
If Liverpool turn it on, they'll be the best team in the league. No, Arsenal are turning it on, and we are the best team in the league. And I think because of that, and because of our performance levels, we will just be able to coast through games and the nerves against in a game like West Ham aren't going to exist. Maybe the big six games will still be difficult, but our record in those games is strong anyway.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's great. It feels good to be going into the international break first, obviously, but also I just think this team deserve that as a reward for the start to the season they've had, because yeah, they've been immense with a really hard fixture list, and to come out of that and say we're also first is really exciting.
No, I agree. I just hope after the international break we kick on, like you say, just don't ruin all our hard work.
Yeah,
Obviously we've got Fulham. It's never easy away trip for us, up and down in terms of results there. Um, but yeah, again, I don't want to take too much of your time. Like I said, I really
that's
appreciate you
okay.
joining me today. I really do appreciate you joining me. Um, Let everyone know where they can find you on Twitter, elsewhere.
Yeah, so unlike some social media people nowadays, I only have one social media. I do occasionally go on podcasts like this one,
Yeah.
but yeah, on Twitter or X as they
X,
call
yeah,
it
sorry,
nowadays.
don't sue us, Elon. Sorry, Elon, sorry.
AFCJXMES. Yeah, I try and keep pretty level-headed about things and not
No, you
yeah,
do, you do.
not be too reactionary. And where can people find you, SJ?
Well, I mean, YouTube at AGVB5, X, Twitter at AGVB Block 5. I mean, yeah, the links will be in the description. TikTok, Instagram. But yeah, we're trying to get everywhere. But we're happy we're here today with you.
Of course, no, pleasure. Thank you for having me on. It was a
No
pleasure to
worries,
speak.
bro. I mean, hopefully in the future you're happy to join on another time.
Of course.
All right. Um, Again, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, leave a like on the video. If you listen on Spotify, Apple, uh, leave a follow and 5-star review. All helps the channel get a further reach. Thank you very much. And again, final, James, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me, as I say, and happy Invincibles Day.
Oh, of course, happy Invincible Day. Thank you, Palace. Wasn't really threatened, but you never know, just in case. Thank you very much. All right, everyone. Until next, everyone, all the best. Take care.